So hello and welcome back to the FPL Talk channel, and today we've got our weekly video going through our team from last week, how we got on, and then our team for next week. Now, last week we saved our transfer to use for this week for the loads of double game weeks that are happening. So we've made 2 transfers. We'll go through who they were and why I've picked them, as well as my captain selection. I hope everyone's houses are okay, by the way. Obviously, if you can hear the wind, I'm sorry, I can't do much about it. I've seen some mental TikToks of things flying through the air and all sorts, because this is an absolute mental storm. But hopefully everyone's okay. And without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So here we are then. Here's our team from last week now. We only managed to get 50 points. I know 50 points is not bad, but compared to most people, that's actually quite a low score. The average was 47, so we are just above the average. And if you see our game week rank there, 3,694,000th. Obviously, that shows it wasn't the best score possible. If we look on the right, we're now over 1,500 points for the whole of the year, which isn't too bad. And we're still sitting at 236,000th in the world, which, again, I'd like to get lower, but we'll take that for now. So moving on to our actual team now. First of all, we've got Pickford in goal. I said in my last video last week that I was quite confident about this one because obviously Fat Frank had come in for Everton. He's picked up a few good players in the window. Van der Beek, he actually played a full 90 minutes the other day, which was a massive shock. But hopefully he can get some games under him and keep performing well because he got man of the match in his first game, which is great for him. But Jordan Pickford, he managed to keep a clean sheet, nothing special, no saves, but we'll take that 3-0 versus Leeds. And then Trent, again, normally we see an assist from him, but not this week. However, you cannot complain about the clean sheet. Obviously, they went to Burnley away. That is a very tricky game, but they still managed to get the job done. Then we have Dallo, who had the double game week. He managed to keep a clean sheet in one. Against Southampton, it's pretty poor that he didn't get one in that. But I'm sure a lot of you with Ronaldo and Bruno were absolutely buzzing after that Brighton game. You probably thought you were going to get no points, but all of a sudden they came in clutch, especially Bruno in the 96th minute. That was pretty ridiculous. I didn't even have him. And then we have Pinnock now. Pinnock was originally on my bench. He played Crystal Palace at home, one of the most boring games of the weekend, 0-0. But he managed to keep a clean sheet, 4 points again, 1 bonus point as well, which is quite cheeky. And then finally in our defence, we had Soufal now. Again, I actually went this game. I'll insert the clip here of Craig Dawson's goal if you've not already seen it already that I recorded. No. Go on! But yeah, he managed to only get 1 point. He got absolutely rinsed by Harvey Barnes in that second half. I've never seen a player get slaughtered so much. How we got a draw in that game, I don't know. We were so lucky, but that is the defence, It's so far it looks pretty good. We've literally got 4 players who have managed to get a clean sheet. But let's go and take a look at the midfield. So here's the midfield. It slowly gets worse than here. Obviously, Jotter wasn't injured, but he now is. He picked up a knock in the week against Inter Milan. Now, this is something we've got to consider for next week because obviously he's got a double game week, but he's looking at doubt. He had a swollen ankle around the ligament area. He did manage to play into half-time, but that was probably off adrenaline, so he probably is going to be out for a few games. He only came off the bench for Burnley, sadly. Didn't manage to pick up a goal. He did have a big chance to score, and he didn't, which is a shame. If we move on now, we've got the gem that is Jarrod Bowen. Obviously scored that goal in the first few minutes. And I recorded Bowen's goal as well, so we'll insert it here. Delightful finish from him. And he got an assist for Dawson's header. So he's in incredible form right now. You have to get him in FPL if you don't already. If you don't have him, you're just silly. He's an absolute steal. And then obviously, he picked up 3 bonus points, so you'll love to see that. And then we have Coutinho. He started so well, Coutinho, and then he's slowly going like that. But obviously, he's only blank for 1 week, so he can't complain. Newcastle picked up a very important win for them. However, Trippier did actually get injured, and he's out for 6 to 8 weeks, so that's a big blow for them. But let's finally take a look at our attackers now. If we go down here, we have Dennis, who was actually the vice-captain, who ended up being our captain, which was very annoying. He had Brighton at home. I thought this could be a nice cheeky fixture for him to get a few points on the board, but he hit the bar v Brighton, which was annoying. Overall, looking at it now, I probably would have captained Jotter if I could go back, but even he stayed on the bench. And then we have Calvert-Lewin, who actually got 2 points for Leeds. Everton won 3-0, and he still managed to do nothing, which is kind of ridiculous. And then we had Antonio, who honestly, he had no service all game v Leicester. Literally had the ball lumped up to him, and then he couldn't do much with it. And when he did get the ball, he did lack quality. So 2 points there. Let's take a look at the bench now. The bench is a very interesting one. We have Backman who got 0, he doesn't even play. But Reguilon and De Bruyne both didn't even play. Now, De Bruyne was my captain. And when you spend 12 point something million on a player, you really want him to be getting those big returns. And he has done it in the previous weeks. But he wasn't even on the pitch this week. So it was a massive shame. But if we do take a look at the team for next week, he is actually transferred out. But overall, 50 points isn't too bad at all. If we take a look at my league, I've moved down to 148th. Who's top of the league this week? You know, you've always got to show appreciation. It's still the same guy. Jamie Norton is still top of my league with his 86 points this week. Very solid. A lot of people actually had De Gea. Cancelo didn't even play. I'm sure that annoyed a lot of people. But if you look at Raheem Sterling at the moment, he's making it hard for Pep Guardiola to actually drop him because he's in such incredible form. He's playing really well. Another great goal in the Champions League the other night too. But his team is very solid. But that is the team from last week. Now let's go and take a look at who we've captained and transferred in for this next week. Now, if we take a look at the team, Liverpool definitely look like they've got the best fixtures. A great double game week for them. So have other teams, actually. So let's get right into it. We've got Pickford in goal, v Southampton away. Now, Southampton aren't in too bad form, so I am a bit worried about that. But I'll keep Pickford just for this week. And then I might look at getting like Nick Pope because he's actually got a double game week this week and one next week. So I'll probably get him in next week. He's got great save bonuses as well, Nick Pope, so that'll be definitely useful in the future. Then we've got Reguilon. He's got Man City away. We're not expecting anything in that. And then Burnley away where he could keep a clean sheet. But the issue for Reguilon is he's got to get on the pitch first. He didn't even play last game, but they were 2-0 down to Wolves in a matter of minutes. I don't know what Lloris was doing for one of their goals, by the way. He literally punched it straight out to Jimenez and he just volleyed it past him with a great strike. And then the other one, Ben Davies, just cleared it straight to him. So I don't know what's going on with Spurs at the minute, to be honest. They're still not in a bad position. But then we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, as you can see by that white, we have activated the triple captain, as I'm sure a lot of people have this week. He's got Norwich at home and Leeds at home. They have to be the best double game week fixtures you can get. Norwich are at the very bottom of the league. Actually, not anymore. They're just down there because they've moved up. Dean Smith is doing a great job. However, obviously going to back Liverpool in this situation. And then Leeds, who normally go all out attack and concede many goals. So I'm thinking that is going to be a great opportunity for returns, and you'll see that later in the team. Then we've got Soufal. Newcastle at home is a very nice fixture still. However, I'm debating if he's even going to play because a lot of West Ham fans are calling for Ben Johnson to be brought back into the lineup after a few poor performances from him. So I think I'm still going to keep him on the pitch. However, he might not play, but I'm going to take the risk. So let's take a look into the midfield. So if we take a look into the midfield, the first player on the list is Mo Salah, and he's got the triple captain next to him. I think this is clear that a lot of players are going to do this. He's surely got to score, be Norwich or Leeds in one of the games. He's probably the best player in the world right now based off form. I know you can say that about anyone, but he's been keeping it going, very consistent for a long period of time. The best FPL option we've had in many years. Next to him, we've got Jotter. He's injured. It's not good. We're going to probably get someone off the bench to come on. And that's really frustrating, especially in the double game week, because he could have got many points on the board, but he's now not going to. So we're going to have to look at transferring him out next week. Or if his injury's okay, we might keep him on the bench. We'll have to see. Jared Bowen v Newcastle. He's probably one of the first names on the team sheet at the minute for me. Probably getting a return in most games that he plays at the minute, I would say. So he's going to stay there. As you can see, he's got the star next to his name. Great performances. And then we've got Coutinho v Watford. All these players actually have very good fixtures. I know Reguilon has Man City away, but he has Burnley to make up for that. Coutinho, Watford at home. I do fancy him to get a return in that. Villa Park is always raving at the minute. The atmosphere is great. So hopefully we can see a few points there. Then this is the other transfer for the week that I said before that we had two of. We have Maxwell Cornet. Now, the thinking behind this is Burnley actually have a double game week this week and next week. So I'm going to have an extra game next week, and that's the thinking behind this. Yes, Brighton away and Tottenham at home are not the easiest fixtures, but I am thinking a bit more long-term for next week that I am going to get more points on the board. And if I have a midfielder, I don't know who's a cheap midfielder. Let's just say Coutinho or whatever. Cornet's got 4 games over the 2 weeks, and he's only got 2 games. So that means he's got 2 more games than someone who's only got one game to get a return. So I'm very happy with my midfield options there. If we now scroll down the attack, we've got Dennis, who's got the double game week now. A few of my mates were saying they were tempted to triple captain Dennis just as their differential because they need to catch up. And obviously, if you're triple captain Salah, you're already in a good position. If you're low down in an FPL league, you may want to risk it on someone else because this may be your only opportunity to catch back up with a triple captain, obviously because they're going to give you a lot of points. So I definitely consider that. Are you high up in the league and you can just triple captain Mo Salah, or are you low down and you might have to take a risk to catch up? And then we've got Antonio v Newcastle at home. Surely Antonio's got to do something eventually. He's not scored in a bit. He's on a bit of a drought for goals. So hopefully we can see a goal there. If we do quickly take a look at the bench now, we've got Bachmann there. Obviously, Bachmann's not going to play a game. Ben Foster, the Cycling GK, is the number one. He's putting some good performances for them, so I doubt that's going to change. Calvert-Lewin, the first sub, be Southampton away. Yes, it's a tough fixture, but he's going to score eventually, isn't he? Let's be honest. Likelihood is Calvert-Lewin's going to come up for Jotter. So hopefully he can find himself a goal. We've got Dalot v Leeds. Yeah, it's a good fixture, but Leeds are probably going to go all out attack and is away from home for him. So I wouldn't surprise me if Leeds somehow bag a goal. And then we've got Pinnock, yeah, third sub. He's obviously going to be there. So let me know in the comments, what transfers have you made this week? So if we jump over to Fantasy Football Scout now, a great website. If you've not used it, I would recommend checking it out. As you can see there, it is recommended for game week 26 that you pick a few Arsenal players. I was considering Arsenal options. They've got a great run of fixtures if you look past this week. Now, they've got a blank next week, but after that is a very nice run. I think out of all the Arsenal players for an attacking option, I'd probably go Saka. I think he's the most reliable. Yes, Lacazette is up front, but he's quite costly and, he's not that poacher he was before. If you look at some of the chances he had in that Wolves game the other week, he could have definitely had 2 goals and he didn't. Defensive option, as you can see there, they've put Tierney in. Tierney's probably the best one. He's great down that left-hand side. It was with Martinelli, but he's now injured, so it remains to be seen who it's going to be. I guess Smith Rowe will play out on the left. And then we've got Harry Kane. Harry Kane's very, very reliable at this point. He had that drought at the start, but he's finally started picking up the goals again. I do say he's very reliable, but he didn't score v Wolves, did he? But he should find the net soon. And then we have Cornet now. Obviously, I said about Burnley assets before. If you can get some Burnley players in, I definitely would. Just because they've got 4 games in the next 2 weeks. Not because they're incredible. Just if you get one return, you're still going to get if Cornet doesn't return, but Burnley manage to keep a clean sheet in one of the games, he still gets 5 points on the board, which is just as good as an assist, really. So we would take that. And also, I was looking, Wolves options actually do have some good fixtures coming up. So there's many options to consider. Another thing to consider when making your transfer this week is Diogo Jotter is definitely out for the first game v Norwich. That means he's only got Leeds left, and that is if he's even fit for that, so he could come off the bench. So when making your transfer, you might want to look at transferring out Jotter this week because obviously he's a major doubt now for these games. Then if we head over to Chris Tan on Twitter, which is a great source for FPL, if we look at the odds for the highest clean sheets, we've got Liverpool right there with 60%. That is a major number. Obviously, Liverpool assets, as we know this week, are going to be very effective. A lot of people obviously going to be rocking with Trent mainly. I don't think there's many Van Dijks or Robertsons going about, but I know Robertson has had a few assists, so he could be a little cheeky pick if you do have him. Looking at the other clean sheet options, we do have Liverpool again with 51%. Clearly the best option. Man City with 55%. V Spurs. That just shows what a dominant side Man City are. Spurs are still a good team and they have a 55% clean sheet chance. Next is Arsenal, another 55%. And this is in the double game week. Now, if you already have the attacking options like Salah or whoever else for the double game week, you could look at bringing in an Arsenal defender such as Tierney. He's got high chance of a clean sheet and he's got a clear chance of an attacking return. So he's someone definitely to look at. Other than that, really, there's not many other clean sheet options. They're the teams that are most likely to keep a clean sheet. Finally, we're going to take a look at this another tweet where it is who you're going to captain for game week 26. And Salah is the overwhelming winner. 84% of people saying they're most likely to captain him. Other than that, the next option is actually 8% with another Liverpool player. Trent is the only one I could really see someone else triple captaining or just captaining because of his assists and the high chance of the clean sheet. But if you're going to go for a captain this week, it's got to be Mo Salah, lads. It's got to be Mo Salah. And if you do have that triple captain, I would definitely think about dishing it out and using it on Mo Salah. This is the best fixture schedule for Liverpool that they're going to get. And with Mo Salah being the best asset for Liverpool, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't use it. Thanks for watching another video on the FPL Talk channel. If you are new, please subscribe and leave a like on the video. And let me know in the comments, who have you decided to transfer in for this game week?